Hot dogs, one of my favorite subjects. I relish eating them, never tire of discussing them, and whenever I'm visiting a place that's famous for their hot dogs, I make a point of eating one or two. Today, we're talking about the hot dogs sold on the sidewalks of New York City. The dirty water dog. Let's get started. Originally called Dachshund sausages, after the long, thin, cute little canine, hot dogs were first sold by German immigrants pushing wooden carts through the Bowery of New York City in the 1860s. By the 1890s, college students had coined the terms dog wagon and hot dog, referencing the vendors selling their hot dogs to college kids on campuses all over America. Before we can cook our hot dogs, we have to make our toppings, and they're German in heritage too. Today, we're making a slightly sweet with just enough heat, tomato-based onion sauce, and of course, sauerkraut. To get started, I've heated 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil in the bottom of a 3.5 4-quart deep skillet, and I'm adding 1/4 inch half moon shaped sliced yellow onions, and I've got about 5 to 6 cups of them here. This is so easy. It takes about 5 minutes to make, and all I'm going to do is cook these, stirring them almost constantly for about 5 minutes until they're soft and the word is actually sweated. We're just going to sweat the onions for about 5 minutes. My onions have been on about 6 minutes. The volume is reduced by half. They're not browned. They're still a little crunchy in the center, but they're nice and limp. Now it's time to stir in my dry spices. Nothing fancy. I've got chili powder, black pepper, salt, and New York's secret ingredient, cinnamon. Those stirred in. Cook this for about 5 or 10 seconds. My spices are all stirred in. Oh, they smell wonderful. That cinnamon is really the secret. Now I'm just going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of honey. This is going to depend on how sweet you like your onion sauce. Quite frankly, I go for a little bit sweeter side because I like the contrast of the sweet next to the sauerkraut. So I'm going to stir this in really quick. Just let it cook fast. Now for the tomato-based part. I'm adding a 1/4 cup of chili sauce. And when I say chili sauce, if you like ketchup, you're going to like chili sauce in this a lot better. And a tablespoon of hot sauce was stirred into that. And now we're just going to get this all to a really nice rapid simmer. Get it all stirred through thoroughly. And last but not least, I'm going to lower this heat just a little bit. I've got a 1/2 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of cornstarch as a thickener, and I'm stirring those together. I'm going to add this to the sauce. Adjust this to a steady but gentle simmer and let this cook until the sauce thickens, about 2 to 3 minutes. This has been cooking for about 2.5 minutes. Beautifully thickened. Smells wonderful. Can't wait for you to taste it. I'm just going to turn this off, transfer this to a serving bowl, and it's time to make my sauerkraut. My onion sauce is in a bowl and it's cooling. I rinsed out my pan, melted 6 tablespoons of butter in it, and I'm going to add 1.5 to 2 cups of diced onion this time. And just like making the starting part of the onion sauce, we're going to let these onions sweat and soften for another 5 to 6 minutes. Making sauerkraut is really kind of straightforward. You can use the directions on the back of the bag. I never buy canned sauerkraut. You can use your own favorite recipe for sauerkraut, leftover sauerkraut. Or you can just follow this, which is my all-purpose recipe. My onions have cooked about 4.5 to 5 minutes. They're nice and soft. I'm going to season them with some salt and pepper, ½ teaspoon of sea salt, teaspoon of coarsely ground black pepper. Quickly stir that in. After this, we've got a 2-pound bag of well-drained sauerkraut. Again, I never buy my sauerkraut in a can. I always buy it fresh in the bag in the refrigerated section of the grocery store. I'm going to stir all of the onions in. And last, 1/4 cup of water. And let this slowly simmer and steam, stirring it pretty often for about 15 minutes. My kraut's been cooking for about 15 to 16 minutes. It's soft and tender and smells fantastic. I'm just going to put this in a food storage container, rinse out this skillet once again, and then we're going to cook our hot dogs. A dirty water dog is a boiled hot dog. Why? Because back in the days of the wooden push cart, cooking hot dogs over an open, portable flame was really risky business. A lot of hot dog carts went up in smoke. The solution? Vendors started cooking, storing, and transporting their hot dogs in insulated containers of seething hot water. Hence the nickname Dirty Water Dog. The water wasn't dirty at all. I'm simmering about 2 quarts of water, and I'm going to add my hot dogs to it, and I'm just going to cook them about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm using Hebrew National hot dogs. In New York City, the favorite dog is the Sabrett brand hot dog. Its all-natural casing actually pops when you bite into it. Unfortunately, Sabrett isn't available to me here in Happy Valley. I'm using my favorite brand. You use yours too. I'm going to let these simmer, and then it's time to top our hot dogs. The hot dog. It's America's #1 street and stadium food. In my food world, a well-constructed, high-quality hot dog is every bit as gourmet as a filet mignon or a lobster tail. On that note, get them while they're hot. It's time to eat. For these and all of my recipes, just go to my website.